There's something about setting off again, the hum of transit, the quiet thrill of a new place unfolding just ahead. Travel resets the senses. It makes the air feel fresher, the coffee stronger, the silence fuller. And then you arrive somewhere like Juneau. Tucked between the sea and mountains, it greets you without fanfare. No roads in or out, just cliffs, clouds, and coastline stitched together by stubborn beauty. You don't just visit a place like this, you surrender to it. And maybe that's why we came. Not to see it, to feel it. $1,000 in Juneau is not a loophole. It is a challenge we are happy to take. First up is the $15 Juneau bus pass, good for 3 full days of mountain views and rain-slicked stops. No car needed when the city fits in your pocket. We booked the Driftwood Lodge at $110 a night, $330 total for 3 nights. Clean, warm, and just enough room to dry your socks. Budget travel here is not about skipping. It is about seeing more by choosing less. And we are ready to see it all. The day began with breakfast at Heritage Coffee Roasting Co. for $16, where the air smelled of fresh beans and long stories. With our Juneau bus pass already in hand, we rode toward Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center, a quiet marvel of blue ice and cold mist. Entry was $5, and the surrounding trails made each step feel like walking through a painting. For lunch, we stopped at Deckhand Dave's for $20, a harborside gem famous for halibut tacos and no-frills charm. In the afternoon, we wandered the Alaska State Museum for $14, where gold rush tools, native carvings, and shipwreck stories lined the quiet halls. We ended at the hangar on the wharf for dinner at $25, where harbor lights flickered through the windows and the portions matched the mood, warm and generous. Our second day started slow, with clouds hanging low and the kind of stillness that asks for coffee. We found it at Raven's Brew Coffee for $15, where murals stare back and the roast bites first. The trailhead to the Mount Roberts Tramway Trail offered a free challenge. Steep switchbacks, quiet forest, and a reward of distant glaciers. No ticket needed, just grit. For lunch, we ducked into Twisted Fish Company for $30, where dock views met dock prices and the fish barely had time to cool. In the afternoon, we explored St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church, a historic hilltop chapel glowing with candles and carved icons. Entry was free, but the hush felt priceless. We closed with dinner at Pelmeni for $30, steamed dumplings, Russian style, eaten while watching fairy lights blink across the channel. We started our final morning at Sacred Grounds Cafe for $14, a small chapel-turned coffee house where stained glass meets strong brew. The day's first stop was the Alaska State Capitol, open for free tours, marble halls, vintage elevators, and stories carved in oak. For lunch, we tried Red Dog Saloon for $30, a legendary spot with sawdust floors and swinging doors that haven't changed in decades. In the afternoon, we browsed Trove Gift Shop, a cozy downtown stop where we picked up a hand-carved pin, a small watercolor print, and a journal. $40 total. Well spent. Dinner came from In Boca al Lupo for $32, where house-made pasta and warm brick walls made for a thoughtful goodbye. Juneau didn't shout. It whispered, and we listened. Level 1, Budget Adventurer. Grand total, $581.75.
Headed out on your next adventure? Don't forget these 10 travel essentials that make every trip smoother. From smart backpacks to portable chargers, noise-canceling headphones to a must-have first aid kit, we've got the ultimate checklist for stress-free travel. Whether you're team budget or VIP, these are the items you'll wish you'd packed. Hit the link now and travel smarter.
This is where the pace shifts. No more creaky floors or sock-drying heaters. We picked up a rental sedan from Avis for easy local travel at $150 a day, $450 total. Quiet, smooth, and ready when we are. Our stay at 4 Points by Sheraton, Juneau, came with harbor views and real linens at $450 a night, $1,350 total. Level up travel means fewer sacrifices and better sleep, with space to breathe and plan. We're not chasing savings. We're chasing calm, clarity, and mornings that begin on our own terms. We began with breakfast at Sandpiper Cafe for $28, where the crab omelet set the tone, fresh, bright, and confident. Afterward, we cruised south in our rental sedan to Chapel by the Lake, a glass-front sanctuary overlooking Alki Lake, peaceful, free, and rarely crowded. By midday, we arrived at Jensen Olson Arboretum, where garden paths traced the shoreline and spring colors did the talking. Entry was free, beauty unlimited. Lunch was at the Rookery Cafe for $42, where modern, comfort food met soft lighting and calm. We closed the afternoon with a guided Treadwell Mine historic trail walk, $20, where moss covered the ruins and history echoed beneath our steps. Dinner at Salt for $55 brought cedar-scented air, local catch, and time that seemed to linger just a little longer. A soft rain traced the windows as the day began at Alaskan Crepe Escape. Valley for $22, where hot crepes folded around smoked salmon and sweet jam alike. By mid-morning, we boarded a small group whale watching tour for $190, gliding past piney coves while humpbacks breached through silver light. Lunch at Zerelda's Bistro, totaling $35, offered comfort food done with flair, ginger pork bowls, coconut curry, and laughter in the corners. In the afternoon, we stepped into the Egan Library Gallery at UAS, free and thoughtfully curated, a surprise favorite. As dusk rolled in, we made our way to V's cellar door for $60, a fusion bistro where tamales met sesame glaze, and the wine list didn't apologize. Juneau stretched around us, quiet, creative, a little wild. The final morning called for motion. After breakfast at Sandbar and Grill for $28, where strong coffee met sea air views, we headed inland for a dog sledding excursion on summer trails, $220. The dogs ran eager and lean, pulling us past spruce and through sun-dappled brush with the kind of joy that makes you forget you're a guest. Lunch at Tracy's King Crab Shack, Maine, $48, brought out buttery claws and cracked shells under a clear sky. In the afternoon, we shopped along Front Street, where $130 covered handmade earrings, a cedarwood candle, and an old Inuit storybook. Pieces of Juneau to carry home. Dinner at Buoy Deck, $65, delivered fresh catch with a harbor breeze, honest and unhurried. The trip didn't end. It settled into memory. Level 2, level up tier. Grand total, $2,611. Some places demand stillness. Juneau doesn't ask, it whispers, and we listened from behind tinted windows. Our arrival came with no lines, no luggage carts, just a Bentley Flying Spur and a private driver. $8,000 per day, $18,000 total. Home was the Pearson Glacier View Estate, perched on a cliff with glass walls and a wine cellar deeper than our inbox. $30,000 for 3 nights. This isn't escape, it's elevation. Quiet art, soft light, and time on our side. We didn't come to explore, we came to experience, and everything opened for us. The day began with private breakfast service on the terrace, $450, where a personal chef plated king salmon souffle beside berry compote and heirloom eggs, all under glacier-filtered morning light. Late morning brought us to the Alaska Fine Art Vault, $3,500 private viewing, where pieces were uncrated just for us. An intimate showing of ivory carvings, oil portraits, and rare prints. Lunch at Silverbow Inn's rooftop tasting room, $600, came with a private chef, sea crab bisque, and glacier-chilled wine, high above the harbor. In the afternoon, we chartered a vintage floatplane for a private aerial tour of the Tongass National Forest, $9,000. Every twist of the river, ours alone. Dinner at Aukie Bay Reserve, $1,000, unfolded in a glass dining cove, with open-fire scallops, wine pairings, and a view of the ice fields settling into dusk. Sunlight crept across the terrace as we began the day at Kappa for $70, where handcrafted cortados and ricotta pancakes were served in a hush above the harbor. Next, we joined a private city orientation and storytelling tour for $2,000 that led us through Juneau's alleyways and alleys with a historian guiding each twist. Lunch at Lemon Tree Cafe, $160, brought artful plating, local crab dumplings, and jasmine-infused tonics woven into conversation. In the afternoon, we withdrew to the Perseverance Theater backstage tour and private encore performance totaling $1,600. The stage bathed in warm wood glow. We closed the evening at Crystal Saloon, $800, reserved just for us, where 9 courses traced Alaskan flavors and smoky bourbons flickered in vintage lamps. Our final morning began with breakfast at Alaska Provisions Kitchen, $75. A reservation-only chef's nook serving reindeer prosciutto toast and spruce-infused lattes by a firelit cove. Then came a luxury amphibious ATV expedition costing $3,000. Rumbling across hidden trails and shallow creeks to reach a secluded waterfall where a white linen picnic awaited with berries and sparkling wine. Lunch at Glacier Smokehouse for $320 offered cedar-planked halibut and seaweed salad in a private upstairs loft. In the afternoon, we joined a Tlingit jewelry master for a private hands-on session for $1,800, learning ancient metal techniques while crafting a keepsake cuff. The journey ended at the Penthouse at Juneau Hotel, $1,500, where a rooftop jazz supper paired with glacier martinis and farewell poems sealed a perfect, impossible-to-repeat farewell. Level 3, VIP Luxury, grand total, $72,260. 3 versions of Juneau, 3 ways to feel it, You could stretch $1,000 into foggy hikes and strong coffee, savor calm mornings with soft linens and glacier views, or let a Bentley and a private chef carve out your days. No matter how we traveled, the wild found us, through stories, salt, and silence. So which traveler are you this time? Drop your answer below, leave a like if Juneau stirred something, and subscribe to see where we head next. The journey's only just begun.